Hi friends, we are going to be learning, reviewing for our test. Now this is really important to pay attention because some of the sentences you see on your test will be in your notes, and you can use your notes to help you with your test. Okay, so take really good notes because this is very important. Okay? All right, so the first thing we talked about is verbs in the present. Verbs in the present, which means now. It's happening right now. Okay? One of the notes we took was, it said you add an S to the verb when the noun is singular, or one. Singular means one. Okay, so you add an S to a verb when the noun is singular. Remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing. So here's an example. Okay, a honeybee sends secret messages. Okay, so what is the noun? The noun is the honeybee. Okay, so here's the noun. What's the noun doing? What is the action the noun, the honeybee is doing? It sends. This is the verb. Okay, so there's only one honeybee because it says a honeybee sends. So you have to put an S on the end of the verb because the noun, there's only one. If it said two honeybees, then you would not add an S. It would say two honeybees send secret messages. But because it's one honeybee, you have to put an S on the end of a singular noun, if the noun is singular. Okay? Here's another example. It tells the other bees about the flower. Okay, it is referring to the bee. So we could actually just say the bee. We could say that. But it refers back to the bee. So it means it's singular, right? Because we're still talking about one bee, right? Because up here in this example, there's just a bee, just one bee. So the bee, or it, tells, okay, we have to, so the noun is bee, or it, and then tells is the verb. Okay, so this is the noun, the bee. Okay, so the verb, we have to add an S to the verb because there's only one bee. Okay, it tells the other bees about the flowers. Okay, all right, so that's an example of verbs in the present and how we have to add an S only if the noun is singular. Okay, let's go on to the next part. All right, also, to be in the present, verbs that end in a consonant and Y. You have to change the Y to I and add ES. Okay? So when the verb ends in a consonant and a Y, you have to change the Y to I and add ES when the noun is singular, or one. Okay? All right, so here's an example. Then it flies back to the hive. Okay, so remember how we said it is a bee? It's a bee. So we could just put the bee right here. This is the noun. Okay, that's the noun. What does it or the bee do? It flies. So this is the verb. Okay, there's only one bee. It's a singular noun. So what do we have to do with fly? We have to drop the Y and add IES. Okay? Drop the Y and add IES. Okay, the next one. These are talking about, we're going to talk now about irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. And we learned about these this week. So this should be really fresh in your brain. Irregular verbs. When used with has, have, or had, these words have another spelling. So in the past, if I said, I could say, I saw a honeybee. In the present tense, I could say, I see a honeybee. And then in the future, I could say, I had seen a bee coming towards me. Like, I will see it or something. So, okay, let me give you an example. Before I do that, though, we have to highlight this. Has, have, or had changes the spelling. Okay, so you notice it says saw, see, and here's the word had, and we've changed it to seen. Okay, so here's an example. People had seen this for years. Okay, so notice we have the word had. So we have to change the spelling to seen this for years. It wouldn't make any sense if I said people had saw this for years. That doesn't sound quite right, but had seen this for years is proper English. Okay? All right, let's keep going. Last part here. Verbs in the past. Verbs in the past. Okay? A verb that tells an action that happened in the past. Add ed to show the past. Okay? So we have to add ed to show that it's happening in the past. Here's an example. He learned the secret of the dance. Notice we have the ed right here. You have to spell it, ed. He learned the secret of the dance. ed. Okay, I'm going to write ed down here because it's really sloppy. Okay, so remember that when you see your test, you can use your notes. Okay, friends? This page is probably the most important page of note-taking you will take this entire quarter. That's a clue. All right. Nice job, friends. Kiss your brain.